Social media is not just entertainment. It is also a system that shapes how people see themselves and how they relate to others and how they measure their own worth. And I think that matters more than people want to admit. We usually talk about social media like it is a harmless or at worst distracting, something that wastes time, something we laugh off with jokes about doom scrolling brain rot and fried attention spans. But that framing misses the point. Because the real issue is not just that social media takes up our time, it is that it changes how we think about ourselves. Social media becomes so addictive because people start looking for approval from others. A lot of users, especially teenagers and young adults, turn to social media for validation, and that can make insecurity even worse. These platforms make it easy to compare yourselves to other people's carefully chosen pictures and lifestyles, and over time, that comparison can turn into dependence. And that dependence is not harmless. Research shows that spending too much time on social media is connected to higher levels of anxiety and depression, especially for teenagers and young adults. A lot of people use social media to cope with stress or loneliness, but instead of helping it, can sometimes make people feel more isolated and inadequate because they are constantly comparing themselves to other people's curated lives. This is what makes social media so mentally draining. You are not just scrolling, you are entering a space where everyone looks happier, prettier, more successful, more productive, and more put together than you. And even when we know what we are seeing is filtered, edited, staged, incomplete, it still affects us. Knowing something is curated does not stop it from getting in your head. And the designs of these apps make it worse. Social media platforms use reward systems like likes, comments, shares, and notifications to keep us engaged. That constant uncertainty of whether someone liked your post or responded to you creates a dopamine-driven loop that encourages people to keep checking over and over again, because there is never a natural place to pause. So, when people act like unhealthy social media habits are just a self-control issue, that is not fully true. These apps are built to keep us locked in. They benefit when users stay anxious, attached, and constantly coming back. And the effects do not stay online. Heavy social media use weakens face-to-face interactions.
Like to get real feedback from a real human and not like just a comment in a chat box or something like this. Like to put real interaction.
Lowers attention spans and distracts students from school responsibilities. In other words, this is not just an app issue. It affects people's relationships, focus, and mental health in real life too. So what needs to change? We need to stop treating unhealthy social media habits like they are just some funny little quirks. They are not. Second, young people need healthier boundaries with social media. That means taking breaks, setting time limits, unfollowing accounts that make you feel worse about yourself, and being honest about how certain content affects your mental health. It also means learning healthier coping strategies instead of depending on social media for constant reassurance. Research points to things like mindfulness, self-regulation, and more open conversations as ways to build a healthy relationship with technology. And platforms need to take more accountability too. If they know their features were designed to increase compulsive use, anxiety, and emotional dependence, then they should not get to act like they are just neutral tools. Social media is not going away, but healthier use is possible. Better boundaries are possible. More awareness is possible. And that is the kind of change we need to advocate for, because at the end of the day, if an app is constantly changing how you see yourself, then it is not just taking your time, it is taking something much more personal